want to know more about our school, then let's find out.
Hello and welcome to Let's Find Out. My name is Brian Doherty and I will be your host for this presentation. We have with us today Barbara Carney, who is the sophomore class vice president. Hello Barbara.
Hi Brian.
What made you want to become vice president?
Well, last year, the homecoming, I got really involved in that and I had a lot of fun, and I thought that maybe if I had run for office, I would be able to become more involved.
Tell me some of the other class officers of sophomore class.
Sophomore president is Michael Saffron, the secretary is Rachel Smith, and the treasurer is Megan Hall.
Well, is this your first time being vice president? Or
Yes.
What are some of your duties as class officer?
Well, it's a lot of my duties, are to inform all the sophomores of our activities and what we want to accomplish throughout the year.
What plans do you have this year for the sophomore class?
Well, after homecoming, that was our main concern in the beginning, but now we're working on Jello wrestling, and that's for the spring.
I know that last year we had Jello wrestling last year, and it was a pretty good thing, this freshman class.
Yeah, it was a good fundraiser, and we're going to try and do that again.
How much of your time during the school day is spent performing your duties as vice president?
Well, during the homecoming season, it was, during homeroom, I'd have to go down to all the homerooms and talk to everybody to get people to come to the meetings and things. And also for fundraisers, we have to go, it's a lot, it's about 3 days a week, it averages about, that we go down to the homerooms and we hand out fundraisers and we tell them when sophomore class meetings are.
You have different meetings. Who's your advisor?
Our advisor is Mrs. Bowens.
What other organizations do you belong to?
Well, I'm a runner. I run cross country, and I couldn't get involved in too many organizations during this part because homecoming takes up so much of your time, but I'm going to join SAD.
Can you tell me some of the advantages and disadvantages of being a class officer?
Well, the disadvantages are that during the busy times like homecoming, you have no time to do what you want to do. You have to spend all your extra time, working on that. And on Friday nights and stuff, I had to stay home and cut out leaves instead of go out.
How long does it take? How long does it take to do the homecoming? How long? How long did it take for the homecoming? How many weeks?
Well, we got our ideas in the summertime, and then we started working on it about the second week of school.
Do you find it difficult being vice president? At
times, because it takes up so much of your time.
Did you know about that before you became vice president?
I knew it would take up a lot of time, but I didn't think it would take up as much time as it did.
As we all know, the sophomore class won the hall decorating contest on Friday, October 27th. Did you have a good turnout from the sophomore class in decorating the hall? Well,
in the beginning, we've had meetings since basically the second week of school, and we didn't have as much participation as we did last year, but we had an average of about 10 people per meeting. That was just to make the stuff. And we had a lot of meetings. They were every weekend and stuff. But for the actual decorating itself, we had a very large turnout. It was really good. We had about 30 people.
Yeah, I know. I was there. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there.
For those of us that were unable to attend on the homecoming parade, which took place this past Sunday on October 29th, we have some pictures of the sophomore, freshman, junior, and senior floats.
That's the freshman float. It was a good try. It looks good. But they started out without an advisor or anything. So they did a really good job for what they had. This one coming up is our float. We spent a lot of time on this. We started this in the beginning of the school year, and it took so long. It was so hard to make. We had about five people that worked on the globe itself, and that was Mark Kriegel, Jerry Colback, Todd Columbia.
What does that say on the truck there?
It says Huskies rule the world. And the Husky took a long time to make. Rachel and I made that. And that's the junior float. Oh, we took second for the float contest. That's the juniors float. They took first. They did a winter scene. Theirs was really good.
Who provided you with the trucks there?
Oh, last year, the Vice President, Kelly Lee, she got in touch. She got us a truck from Red Bank, from Labriola. And he donated the truck again this year. I don't know where the other people, the other grades, classes got their trucks.
Okay. Did it take a lot of people to build that float?
Yeah, as I said, it took, I guess it was about between 5 and 10 people that did it, because you can't have a lot of people working on that, because it just, you know, if you have too many people, it just doesn't work because there's, you know, too many people around.
All right, getting back to the hall decorating contest, how many hours did it take to decorate the hall?
After school on Thursday, on homecoming, we were there from the minute that the bell rang up until the last people, the 4 officers left at 8:30.
Now I know that no other people from different classes can see the hall, you know, while you're decorating it. I know that they closed up the east hallway, which was the hall that we decorated on.
Yeah.
And I know that it took like a long time, because I know I was talking to some people and they were there until 8:30 almost. What methods do you use to raise funds for the sophomore class activities?
Well, the beginning of the year, our advisor, Miss Bowens, is very big on fundraisers, and she tried one in the beginning. The first one we did was we sold magnets, and that gave us, that turned out okay. We sold them. It's just that we don't have a lot of participation. You know, not a lot of people want to sell things for the class because it's just not fun.
Yeah, I know. I know it's a lot of people that don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Are you planning to run next year as a class officer?
Yeah. I'm not sure for what, though. We're not sure if we're going to keep the same team of people working together or if it's going to change.
When you campaigned last year, what did you do? Did you hang up like a lot of signs and stuff?
I tried everything. I hated election time. It was so, there was so much pressure, and it's not fun running against someone that you're friends with. But I put up as many posters as I could. I had people helping me, making posters for me, and I bought lollipops.
I know.
To give to people.
Yeah, I had some also. Well, did your parents encourage you to get involved in extracurricular school activities such as being a class officer?
Yes, they want me to do well in school, but they just don't want me to have a lot of they don't want a lot of pressure to be put on me.
We'll be taking a short break, and we'll return after this message.
Come from?
Welcome back to Let's Find Out, and our guest is Barbara Carney, the sophomore vice president. Getting back to the fundraisers, Barbara, what other fundraisers are you planning for this year?
Well, the first one I told you about, and the one that we just finished was one for Christmas and for Hanukkah, you know, the holidays, and there were ornaments and things. That one turned out a lot better than the magnets one. For the spring, we're going to sell the class of stuff, you know, the class of 92 for us. It's keychains and all things like that.
Well, do you know if all you class officers, are you looking toward the senior year for anything? Do you have any plans for the senior year?
Yeah, we have to get our funds back up because homecoming really drained us.
I know, yeah.
And that cost a lot. And, you know, we're looking forward to the prom, and for senior year, our senior trip. And our senior year homecoming. That's going to be fun.
About the homecoming, I know that it started on, you had it on October 29th, which was on the day of the homecoming game, which is between Matawan and St. John's. What time did you guys get there and start setting up?
Well, I had a cross-country meet that morning, but the other, Rachel and Michael were there. They got there, they woke up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and they got everything together. They decorated the truck with the streamers and everything. The truck looked really good. And they were at the high school that morning, and then they were in the parade. And that started at 9 or 9:30. And then when they got back to the high school, I got back from my meet.
Where did you store the homecoming, you know, your float? Where did you store it?
Well, Mike Saffron let us use his house. He let us use it last year, and it was that's really great. His parents are great.
Yeah.
And everything was stored in his garage.
What plans do you have for yourself when you get out of high school?
Well, college.
Do you know what you want to become, maybe?
No, I want to go to Cornell, though.
What do you do in your free time or what are your hobbies? You know, what do you like?
I run.
You like running a lot? Yeah.
I don't like it, but I do it.
Are there any school policies that you disagree on, and do you feel any should be changed?
Well, the administration doesn't come to us for anything, but there are a few things, you know, that we'd like to change and that we're going to work on.
Where did you store all the stuff for decorating the hall? I know. Well, what was your theme this year for decorating the hall?
Well, we did the jungle. And when we were working on it, we didn't think that we were going to have enough stuff for it because there were only an average of about 10 people showing up, and about like 15 different people actually did the work for it. And we didn't think that we were going to have enough for the hallway, but then when it turned out, you know, we had it.
How did you get people to help out?
Well, when we had our meetings after school, Rachel and the rest of us would stand outside the door and drag people into the meeting and make them come in. And that, it kind of worked, but still only a few people actually came to the meetings and did the help.
Did you like go around the school and ask people to come over and help?
Yeah, I did that a lot.
Because there was people going around telling me to come help out, and I thought it was pretty interesting when we were helping out. We had a lot of people there. Where did you store all the stuff?
The hallway stuff?
Yeah.
Well, that was the hallway stuff was mostly at Mike's, but the rest of the officers each had a meeting at you know, our own houses, so we stored stuff there too.
What was the other themes for the other classes?
Well, the freshmen did, I'm not sure, but it was kind of like a
Look in the
space
future?
scene, yeah, or something. And we did the jungle. The juniors did a winter scene, and the seniors did. Their hallway was really neat. They had in the beginning, it was dark, like the beginning days of school, and then the hallway got lighter as you went on, because it was that they were going to leave and stuff.
Everyone put out a lot of work for their halls.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we're running out of time for this show. Thank you very much for sharing our viewers with your story. It is hoped that you enjoyed watching our show for today, and will tune us in again next time. Goodbye.